and welcome, dear viewers, to Couch Warrior TV on YouTube. I'm the Couch Warrior, and this is Unbound Workshop. This video series is the companion to the Character Crusade Unbound podcast, and in each episode we explore Skyrim roleplay concepts, ideas through actual gameplay. Season 1 of the podcast is called Random Skyrim Roleplay, and our character concept is Raiden, the Ashaba Undead Slayer. Now, in the last episode, I told you that I was going to give you a rundown on kind of the high points of my play rules for this character. I am going to do that now. We're going to do it before we go into Dayspring Canyon because I can't possibly read these to you and play at the same time. So bear with me. Let's see. We've got a total of 10 different play rules that I am following here with this character. So let's go over them. The first one is prayers to Tuwaka. Now, we try to do these daily. The idea is to pray in the morning or at twilight during some point in the day when things are changing from day to night or night to day, that kind of thing. We don't always hit that goal, but we hit it most of the time. The second is a view of undead as victims. So, rather than viewing undead as a scourge, he views undead as victims who need to be relieved of their suffering. And that plays into the role play pretty heavily. I think we've alluded to some things in the first two podcasts that kind of reinforce that. The other philosophy is that eliminating the dead from Mundus is a way of making room for living souls. So if we've got undead souls taking up space that could be occupied by living souls, then that's what we got to do. Mundus is for the living, so to speak. Then we talked about this a little bit in the last episode. Number 4 is 10 Dragon's Tea. 10 Dragon's Tea and the Dragon's Tongue Blossom it's made from are important to Raiden and symbolic of the flame of passion in his heart and memories of his mother. The collecting of the blossoms and the making of the tea is a ritual that he sometimes will perform in her memory or as part of his prayer rituals. Ritual memory. This concept is number 5. I call it ritual memory. Ritual memory is a time of extended meditation in which ancestors are remembered and their deeds of both good and ill are recalled. The ritual honors those who are gone and also keeps alive the memory of their mistakes and faults, as well as their successes and legends. So, the idea is that we've got this concept that there is much to be learned from the mistakes of our ancestors, and unless we sit back and remind ourselves of those painful memories, the mistakes will be lost to time and they'll be made again. Ritual memory, that is a ceremony that will take place periodically and something I'm kind of reserving for those periods in Raiden's story when something momentous happens, when there's a big change or something like that. We'll call it ritual memory. All right. Places of power and service. Raiden will always visit houses of the dead and graveyards out of respect. While there, he will often look for signs of the raised dead. In addition, he will offer his services with preparation of the dead for burial. This is something that we've talked about in the podcast because of his culture and because of the tribe in which he was raised. He's actually trained in the skills that would be required of an undertaker, and he will offer those services as a way of paying respect, helping out, and showing reverence to the dead. So we're using a mod called Jobs of Skyrim, which will periodically allow us to do that at the Houses of the Dead, to offer our services and actually help with interring a body. So that's kind of a cool thing. Okay, number 7 is Arcade. Raiden has been taught by his mother the religious equivalencies of Tamriel's imperial pantheon to the Okudan gods. As such, he will often pray at shrines of Arcade while invoking the name of Tuwaka. So that's how I'm kind of making the connection between Tuwaka and Arcade. Number 8 is the rules around dark intent. The feeling that comes over him when undeath is near. Raiden's ability to sense dark intent is based on a die roll, and we discussed that in the last episode. It's based on two 10-sided, and it's 10%, and it accumulates by 10% each time he passes the location. And let's see, number 9 is the departed toll. Those who are released by Raiden pay a departed toll, which will call them back to fight with him in times of trouble. So that is what I'm calling this innate power that he has, because of the Standing Stone mod that we're using. We're just referring to that as the departed toll. So essentially, they're obligated to him to help out, essentially, to help him make the world a better place for a certain period of time, which is very brief, and then they're released to their reward. Number 10, the very last one here, is loot. My philosophy on loot with this character. My play rule on loot is a mixture of what is in character and what is necessary to advance the game. So Raiden's approach to loot reflects his nature as a warrior and an Ashaba. So he'll take loot from a barrow, but will limit it to gold and potions on bodies or in urns. He will not take things like rings, necklaces, items that could have had a deep personal value to the person in life. Anything that's in a chest, he'll take because it's not associated with a specific person. But if it's on a dead body or it's in an urn, he'll take mundane items like gold and potions, but won't take personal items like rings and necklaces and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I'm looking at that. And to me, that strikes a good balance between being able to, I think, role play the character while at the same time make at least enough money to continue functioning in the game. Now, of course, we're also helped by the fact that some of these bodies show up a second time with more gold on them, and that helps as well. So I reserve the right to adjust my play rules if we get to a point where we feel like that makes sense. All right? All right, let's go talk to Isran. All right. Now, I can't remember whether or not when we return this time, if the vampires are attacking. I'm not sure. I know periodically when we return, the fort is under attack, but I don't know if there's any dependency on time of day or anything like that. My guess is not. So we'll see what happens. All right. Eyes open, Goldear. Eyes open. Well, if they're taking target practice, we must be okay then. No, wait a second. I take that back.
Give up while you still can.
There we go.
Somebody help.
All right.
Look at this. I should have known it was only a matter of time before they found us. It's the price we pay for openly recruiting. We'll have to step up our defenses.
All right.
I don't suppose you have some good news for me.
Possibly. Why don't we go inside and discuss it? Or not.
Look at this. I should have known it was only a matter of time before they found us. It's the price we pay for openly recruiting.
Right.
We'll have to step up our defenses. It's the price we pay for openly recruiting. We'll have to step up our defenses.
I have news, but I wouldn't call it good.
Of course. Why did I suppose differently? Fine. Tell me what you know.
All right. The vampires were looking for a woman trapped in Dim Hollow.
A woman? Trapped in there? That doesn't make any sense. Who is she? More importantly, where is she?
All right. She's the daughter of a powerful vampire lord.
And so you delivered her to them.
I didn't say that. They also have an Elder Scroll.
They what? And you didn't stop them? You didn't secure the scroll?
Never got the
I
chance.
suppose you're lucky you're not dead. Or worse, one of them. By the divines. This couldn't get much worse.
Oh, I don't know about
This is more
that.
than you and I can handle.
All right, well, we have to do
Well,
something.
of course we do. I'm old, not stupid.
You look old to
We're
me.
just going to need some help. If they're bold enough to attack us here, then this may be bigger than I thought. I have good men here, but there are people I've met and worked with over the years. We need their skills, their talents, if we're going to survive this. If you can find them, we might have a chance.
All right. Where can I find the people we
Right
need?
to the point, aren't you?
Yes.
I like that.
Short on
Not
time.
like those fools in the order. We should keep it small. Too many people and we'll draw unwanted attention to ourselves. I think we'll want Serene Gerard. Breton girl, whip smart and good with tinkering. Fascination with the Dwemer. Weapons in particular. Last I knew, she was out in the Reach. Convinced she was about to find the biggest dwarven ruins yet.
All right, she'll help us.
Might need a little convincing, but she should. You'll also want to find Gunmar. Big brute of a Nord. Hates vampires almost as much as I do. Got it into his head years back that his experience with animals would help. Trolls in particular, from what I hear. Last I knew he was out scouring Skyrim for more beasts to tame. Bring the two of them back here, and we can get started on coming up with a plan.
All right. Good enough.
Keep your eyes open.
Right. All right, we may as well head out right away. The day is still young. Let's grab that dust. What do you say? Take the gold, too. All right, so Raiden hears that. He senses the urgency. My guess is he's going to be feeling a little bit of self-doubt at this point as well, right? I mean, we've been dressed down a little bit on how we handled the situation with Serana. We used our own best judgment, and he was working from his gut when he made the decision that Serana was not a threat. But obviously, in retrospect, delivering her right back to her father along with an Elder Scroll, we can definitely see the problems with that decision. So I think immediate action is, at this point by Raiden, is going to be driven not only by the fact that, yes, the mission is urgent, but also by a little bit of a sense of self-doubt about maybe he made a mistake and he needs to get out there in the world and start doing stuff to rectify that, right? So straight back to work. I mean, we don't know Isran very well, but what we do know is that he's put trust in us, and he's just dressed us down, and he is technically our elder, and he is a Redguard. So I think that Raiden would have a slightly more, I guess, inflated sense of respect for Isran at this point, and as a consequence, probably feel more acutely that feeling that he had done something wrong or disappointed the man. So getting back out into the world and making up for it quick is the way to take care of it. So that is what we are going to do next. But first, this word from our sponsors. Here at Lost Barrel Brewing, we have a long tradition of crafting only the finest in ancient lagers. Great brews begin with great ingredients, and Draugr Lager is made from only the finest grains and hops, aged for thousands of years. Every batch is brewed with ice-cold water drawn from the deepest caverns below the earth, checked for body parts, and triple filtered through fairly clean burial linens, then aged for hundreds of years in elder gleam barrels. Draugr Lager is good, and is not meant for barmy, soft-gutted, plug-ugly tossers. Draugr Lager, the great taste of the undead, with no bitter afterlife.
Undead, a little more
Welcome back, everybody. So, as you can see, we are back in Whiterun. I spared you that journey over a well-trodden road. Not a whole lot happened on that journey.
I'm not afraid of you, even if you are my elder.
We stopped over for the night at the inn in Iverstad, and didn't encounter much along the road. We were attacked by an assassin. However, we dispatched that assassin, and then we also encountered a Vigilant of Stendar, who was not dressed as a Vigilant of Stendar, but definitely was a Vigilant, fighting some skeletons along the road.
Gave you 2 hands, and you used them both for your weapon. I can respect that.
Helped him with that. Now we're back in Whiterun. So the first thing we're going to go do here is we're going to visit Danica. We're going to get some training in restoration. Then we're going to do...
What's the matter? You can't stand the sight of a strong Nordic woman?
Stop talking to me. Then we're going to do a little buying and selling. And then at twilight, we will go to the House of Dead, do our prayers, whatever we need to do there. And the next day, we're going to head out. So tomorrow, we're going to be heading out in the morning to go and find these 2 people we got to find for Isran.
Hello, child of Kinnereth.
Well, hello.
Here's the friendship, a gift. If you don't like it, too bad.
Okay. Oh, an ale?
Lately, it seems I am more nurse than priestess. I'll gladly share my
Restoration.
knowledge with you.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge with me. Let's do it all. What is money for, after all, if not to spend on
Peace of
training?
Kinnereth be with you.
Can hardly
All right,
stand
let's go. Do some buying and selling. While we're on that commercial break, I have some exciting news to report. The Unbound podcast is now live on YouTube, on iTunes. It is on YouTube, sure. But it's also available on iTunes. If you really want to help out what we're doing and help us continue to do it, one of the best things that you can do is go out to iTunes and give us a rating or review on iTunes. That is immensely helpful. Immensely helpful. So if you get an opportunity and are inclined to do so, that would be terrific. All right.
Good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for.
All right.
If not,
Sure.
let me know. I might have it. Everything's for sale, my friend. Everything. Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
All right. Well, let's see what we can offload here. I'm going to start with miscellaneous. Just because I know we've got other people in town who will buy weapons and armor and stuff like that from us. So let's make sure we're selling him whatever we can. All right. Flawless amethyst. I'm going to keep one of those. Ugh. These I think I could have turned in solitude. That's all right. Artifact. That's a solitude thing too. My guess is the steel claw probably opens a barrow that's accessible from the sewers below Solitude. We just never found it. But that may be something we would go back and check for later. All right, let's get rid of some stuff here. Conjuring a Nether Lich, we're going to keep. Circle of Protection, we're going to keep. Banishing Danger, we're going to keep. We'll get rid of this. All right, we tapped him out. Let's see what he's got for magic items. Well, we know what we got, but... Deft Hands doesn't really help us. Storm King, not interested. All right. If he's got potions, we can take a couple healing potions. Nothing wrong with that. Wow. Scrolls are worth a ton. All right, what else do we got we could sell him for scrolls? Get rid of that. That's about all we can do there. All right. True shot. No, don't need that. Cure disease, that's good to have. All right, we'll keep the rest of that.
Do come back.
That'll do for now. All right, let's take a look. Since we're here, well, first of all, not here, because these people are too damn chatty.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Uh-huh. All right, this seems like as good a place as any. Let's have a look here. All right, level 20. We're closing in on 21. We got a ways to go yet, though. Like I said, I've got... a couple perk points I can spend. So what I really want to do is get up to 30 here. Now, we bought restoration training, right? I mean, I remember buying it, but I thought we bought training. When we bought the training, we were at 27. Could have swore we were, and I don't remember hearing like the level up sound or anything like that. Did something go wrong with that? Because she sure as heck was taking our money.
Divine smile on you.
Maybe we weren't at the level I thought I was. I'm really trying to hit 30. Level 30 in restoration is where I need to be in order to start taking some of the things I want to take. And I've been banking perks, kind of saving them up a little bit.
Yes?
Not you.
Thank you. The pain is already easing.
Hello, child of Kinneret.
All right.
Lately, it seems I am more nursed than... I'll gladly share
feel
my
like
knowledge with you.
Something weird happened there. Okay, well, she said I trained all 5 levels.
Grace of Kinneret be with you.
All right, good enough. Good enough. All right, so I'm thinking next on the agenda would be to let's
What's the matter?
make a stop
You
at
can't
War
stand the
Maidens.
sight of a strong Nord woman?
See if we got anything we can sell to her. Offload some more weight.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. Take a look.
All right. What do we got? Huh. That's dumb. I should have been wearing those bracers. All right, these are all things that... Yeah. Seriously, I've got nothing. Got nothing. All right, what does she got? Prosperity, no. Smithing, no, I've already got good smithing gauntlets. Bounty, no.
Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
All right, I will.
Yes?
Check inside the shop. Damn it.
Seconds for my supper.
There you go.
Welcome to war. We've got small weapons as well as big.
Big.
Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
Big weapons. Anything interesting? Illusion, alchemy, come on. And I don't know.
Good doing business with you.
Gold ear, hey, you got something you want to sell? Let's see. Let's see what he's got. Oh, I have been giving him some things. Extra crossbow. No, we're going to keep that. He's got his sword. Mostly what I've been giving him is crafting materials to carry for me. And firewood and junk like that. All typical fodder for a follower. All right, well, I guess that's it. It is what it is. Let's go. You know, I mean, in my view, there's kind of a time and a place for dicking around with crafting. I'm not in a crafting state of mind right now, so I'm not going to try too hard on that shit. But it's always good to set aside some time. I like to take some time during kind of a major transition to just sit down and work on crafting up some stuff, making sure that I'm doing everything I can to keep my damage up. All right. So, let's go ahead and do our prayers. Perfect. All right. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for your interest in this series. Response to the episode 1 was kind of amazing. So it's good to know that people appreciate this content and want this content. And judging by the views on that first episode, it would seem that is the case. If you have not decided whether or not to follow along with us yet, I would highly encourage you to do it. It's a lot of fun. We've got a lot of people participating, learning new things, trying a lot of stuff in role play. Never too late to start. We just wrapped up episode 3, and we are going to be recording a live stream of episode 4 in a week and a half. You can find the schedule posted on our website at charactercrusade.com. And episode 4 is going to mark the halfway point of season 1. And each season consists of 8 total episodes. And after season 1 is completed, we are going to come up with a new challenge, and we're going to start all over again with a brand new challenge. All right, so a couple of things we got to do here. First of all, what time is it? All right, still early, plenty early. So one of the things that I have, let's see, here's this. I have in my inventory a couple of different things. These amulets, okay? We're going to store those. So one of the things I'm doing is periodically we run across these vigilants of Stendar who are out, getting their butts kicked or whatever it is, and we come to their rescue, or we find them dead, or something like that happens. I will collect the amulets of Stendar, and then we kind of turn them in at the House of the Dead as just, I don't know, some kind of a sign of respect, I guess, as it were, as fellow undead hunters. The other thing that he will do from time to time is he will collect the skulls of fallen enemies and turn those in at the House of the Dead also.
Yes.
It's...
Come, I haven't got all day.
Let's see if the Undertaker gives us anything. No. So we've prepared one body for her, and she's never offered again, and neither have any of the other Undertakers in any of the other Houses of the Dead, so I don't know what the scoop is with that. But it's interesting. So... doing stuff like that, dropping off amulets or skulls or, just stuff like that is something you can do as an alternative to burying the dead if you don't have access to or don't want to use a mod that allows you to bury the dead. There are a couple of mods that will allow you to do that. I have chosen not to load those, and this is kind of my alternative, I guess. You can play it out however you want. Doesn't matter. I've just found some of those mods to be a little bit buggy in the past, so I have elected to keep them out of my load order for now. That is the plan anyway for the time being. But more and more mods are becoming available for SE, which is pretty exciting. All right. So nothing here we need to get rid of. Ethereum Wars, I don't think I've had that yet. So add that to the to-do list. All right. That is pretty much it.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like the rest of the great warriors?
No, sir.
I'm waiting.
So we got two people to find, and they're both in roughly the same direction. The guy, he's at the Brood Cavern. I know where that is. That's near Dead Man's Respite. And then from that location, we can continue on into the Reach, and we can find the other person that we're looking for.
It's no fun getting pushed around all the time.
Why does he have gray face and she
Mister,
doesn't?
Could you spare a coin?
Crazy. Nope. All right. Well, it's still early in the day, but let's go ahead and get some rest and get our next mission started early, so maybe we can leave at dusk and we'll travel through the night rather than waiting around. Doesn't make any sense. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll do 6 hours. That's good enough. Pack all this up. Cold Ear's got the right idea. Have some soup. Apple. Some water. All right. All right, let's go. Let's hit the road. Sometimes my followers will follow me down that little shortcut, and sometimes they won't. I'm not sure how they decide. But he'll catch up. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we are off, and we are headed west. I think what we're going to do is we're going to follow along the road as far as this dilapidated fort up ahead. Greymoor, I believe it's called. And then there is a road from there that heads north. We're going to follow that road north and then cut overland and kind of come up on Brood Cavern from the southern side. Going to get that going. Get him off and running back to Fort Dawnguard. And then we'll continue further west. We've kind of got to get out into the reach, into the wilderness to find this girl we're looking for. I know roughly the area where she is, so finding her shouldn't be a problem. It's just going to take some hoofing it to get there. And we'll see what we encounter along the way. One of the things I really like to do is, you know, I like to avoid fast travel. I like to just hoof it everywhere I go because there's, you know, adventures to be had along the way. There are things to experience. If you fast travel between all of your destinations, you miss encounters along the roadway that not only gain you experience, but more importantly, will pull you off the road to have you experience other things, other minor plots and side quests that you can build into your story. And you don't have the opportunity to add that sort of color to your story if you're constantly fast traveling anywhere. So that is my reason anyway for not fast traveling. However, for the purposes of this series, I understand that lots of time spent on the open road, just walking around and traveling, is not conducive to things moving forward. So what I've elected to do is I'm going to continue to not fast travel, but some of those longer travel sequences I'm just going to cut out like I did in this episode earlier. Part of my decision to do that was just based on the fact that I knew we had already covered that road multiple times, and I was pretty sure we weren't going to get attacked by anything along that road, which really kind of made it a no-brainer. I was pretty certain nothing would happen, and I really had nothing lengthy to go over. So, all right. Now, hang on. Making a roll for Dark Intent. Oh, yeah. You got a 09. By the way, I have learned some things about how this ritual thing works, and it seems to be a little bit inconsistent, but what I've been discovering is that when I kill an enemy and the ritual kicks in and the spirit is bound to Raiden, that is when we see the body dissolve to ash, which would make sense, because I think what the mod author is trying to do there is use it both as an indicator that the spirit is bound to you, but also to keep you from looting the body so that you can't loot it twice. And I think what's happening is that sometimes it's working and sometimes it's not. It's inconsistent, because I've seen both humans and animals dissolve and not dissolve. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but we'll find out. Haha. All right. Pretty efficient team there. Look out. Ah, blocking levels. We like those. Old strongbox. What lies within? Increases magic resistance by 10%. Increases magicka by 75 points. Ooh, I like that. This will be a challenge. What else we got? Helmet of some kind. Ooh, water breathing. That's cool. I like that as well. All right, let's see if we can coax this chest open. I think that'd be a good thing to do. Not a great picker of locks yet, which is fine. Okay, here we go. Doesn't strike me as the sort of thing Raiden would be amazing at, right? Okay. So, just a touch. Just a touch. Not too much. Damn. You saw the soft spot here, right? Yeah. Wow. All right. Gotta pay attention to where I'm working from here. Finally. Ooh, lots of gold in there. That's good. Whoa. 2 levels in lockpicking. What? Staff of Slaying. Kills a living target in melee range with 25% or less remaining health. Destruction and garbage. All right. Well, this is something of a location of interest, I would say. It is a little past twilight time. But that's okay. We'll take a little break, a little meditation. I think that's always good for our role play. Well, that's going to do it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, of Unbound Workshop. Thank you for checking it out. If you'd like to get involved and play along with us, check out the unbound.charactercrusade.com website for the current play rules. You can join the discussion with other players that are also following along in this project by joining our Discord community at discord.charactercrusade.com. You can find Character Crusade Unbound podcast on iTunes and YouTube. Again, both of those are going to be linked from the website right on the homepage. We've also got a roundup of all our podcasts in the main navigation there. Easy to find. We're going to be live streaming multiple times in April and May. You can find the schedule for all those times and dates on the website as well. So we hope that you will join us for the adventure. Thank you all very much, and I will see you in the next episode.